Lord Lamont took aim at supporters of a new Brexit referendum in a passionate speech attacking the European Union for the proclivity to influence member states to second-guess their votes. The former Chancellor insisted a second Brexit vote would create a permanent division between British politicians and voters. In a scathing speech targeting the European Union's track record of demanding a rerun when results do not meet the expectations of top Eurocrats, Lord Lamont pointed out British voters had been promised their decision to leave would be respected. Addressing fellow peers in the House of Lords, he said, Tony Blair, who one would have thought could have used his experience and contacts to help the government, has said the result of the second referendum would have to be definitive and have to be respected. Big deal. That's what he said last time. That's what we were all told about the referendum we had. He continued. Mr. Barroso in 2005 said they must go on voting until they get it right. Mr. Juncker, again in 2005 before the French referendum, said if it's a yes, we must say on we go. If it's a no we will say we continue. Raymond Barry, the former Prime Minister of France, said he couldn't see why the public should be consulted at all about European integration. It was precisely because of this that many people voted to leave the EU. Ireland voted to adopt the Lisbon Treaty in 2002 after a majority of Irish voters rejected the Treaty of Nice the year before. Danish voters headed for the poll a second time after voting down the Maastricht Treaty in 1992. Lord Lamont continued, some people say that this would be a healing process. That seems to be the most improbable argument of all. It would create a permanent division in our politics. People already feel they have great disillusionment with our system. Disdain for the system is widespread. I believe a second referendum would be a disaster of the first order for democracy. It would undermine the very basis of democracy because it would suggest that a decision by a majority is insufficient to make that decision legitimate. Nearly 700,000 Britons took to the streets of London last week to demand a rerun of the referendum during the so-called People's Vote March. The People's Vote is pegged as the public having a final say on the deal negotiated by the government. London Mayor Sadiq Khan started the march and delivered an address to the crowd, saying, "What's really important is that those that say that a public vote is undemocratic, isn't patriotic, realize the fact the exact opposite is the truth. What could be more democratic, what could be more British, than trusting the judgment of the British people?"